Shankaram Shabhuma Shankararya Pitha Sadgurun Shuddha Sattva Bhasuran Suvartmanita Bhusuran Sarva Bhuta Saukhyadan Khamakaran Yatishwara.
Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat-Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shri Guru Charanadvandvam Bandeham Matita Dussahadvandvam Bhrantigraho Prashantim Pamsumayam Yasya Bhasita Matanute. So this is the Mangala Shloka of this Svatmanirupanam text. So there the Guru Vandanam has been expressed, and the greatness of the Guru's holy feet, sacred feet, what they accomplish is the dispelling of the ignorance or bhranti or error that has possessed the jiva and made him a samsari, so that bhranti is dispelled by the Guru's, the dust of the feet of the Guru. So this is the meaning of the shloka. So after that, we have read the third shloka. Samsara dava pavaka santaptaha sakala sadhanopetaha Svatmanirupana nipunaihi vakyaihi shishyaha prabodhyate guruna. So in this third shloka, what actually the Acharya is going to teach him. So that is being stated in a very precise manner or a concise manner. The name of the text also appears in this shloka, Svatmanirupanam. So here the meaning of the shloka, the general meaning of the shloka is Samsara Dava Pavaka Santaptaha, an aspirant who has considered the whole of the samsara, and he has studied it and got a lot of information from it, and finally concluded that there is not going to be any real worth in remaining in samsara. So he wants to come out of it. So he is finding himself afflicted, scorched by the heat of samsara, and as a result of that, he has because of his longing, very, very deep longing, or a very, very pronounced longing for release, he has developed the qualifications required for moksha, also required for sadhana. So that he has acquired, and such a person, he is being taught by the Guru the methods of coming out of samsara. So all that is very nicely encapsulated in this shloka. Samsara dava pavaka santaptaha sakala sadhanopetaha svatmanirupanaihi vakyaihi shishyaha prabodhyate guruna. So the Guru employs all the means to see that the shishya comes out of samsara. So in the commentary, we have got an introduction to this shloka. Idanim adhikari Vishaya Sambandha Prayojanatmakam Anubandha Chatushtayam Nirupayati. So we had seen what the Anubandha Chatushtayam is. In every text, the author has an obligation to state what this text is about, what is the main topic that is going to be discussed, and who is the candidate to study this text, and what is the benefit that the study of this text will give to the person who comes to this text, and the connection between the topic mentioned here and the fruit mentioned there in the text. So what these things are all called Anubandha Chatushtayam. There are 4 of them. Adhikari, that is the candidate. Vishaya is the subject matter. Sambandha is the connection between the fruit mentioned there and the subject matter. And the prayojana, what is the fruit the person who takes up the study of this text ultimately gets, or what is intended ideally the person will be getting. So all these things have to be stated. So here tan nirupanasya avashikatvat tatra prathamataha adhikari swarupam aha. So now in this text, in this shloka, the first Anubandha Tatratiya, that is the Adhikari, that is the candidate, is being spoken of here. So in this word, that is Samsara Dava Pavaka Santaptaha. So there, that Viveka and Vairagyam, that is being stated here. And then Mumukshutvam, Tivra Mumukshutvam is also stated there. Sakala Sadhano Petaha. So the sadhana will be Sadhana Chatushtayam, that is the Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, that is Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhanam. And the fourth one is the Mumukshutvam. So all these things are there in a very, very high degree in this aspirant who approaches the Guru, and the Guru takes him up and accepts him as a disciple, and he starts teaching him the Vedanta Tattva. And of course, all the means to get into the real sadhana and all that will also be taught by the Guru, depending on the needs of the Shishya. So here in the commentary, the Acharya says, Samsara eva davaha dahanam tasya pavakaha davanalaha tena santaptaha parama udvignaha udvega, that is the tormented. Atayeva sakala sadhanopetaha sarva sadhana yuktaha. So samsara itself is called a huge cauldron. So tasya pavaka dava analaha. So the fire that is the cause of all the cauldron, that is tena santaptaha. So a person is scorched by it. Parama udvignaha, he is extremely afflicted by it. Atayeva sakala sadhanopetaha sarva sadhana yuktaha. So because of this tormenting alone, he has developed all the sadhana satushtaya sampatti required for getting out of it. So there is a popular saying, necessity is the is what triggers all the invention and all that. So here also the necessity to come out of this samsara has triggered the development of the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, which are required for coming out of samsara. So here he is such a candidate who has developed all these things to a very, very high degree. Sadhanani tu nitya vastu vivekaha ihamutra palabhoga viragaha shamadhi shatka sampat mumukshuttvani chatvari. So these are the four. The four are named here. Nitya vastu vivekaha, that is the discrimination between what is eternal and what is ephemeral. And of course, it translates to, in the final scenario, what is satyam and what is mithya. So that also has to be kept in mind. Nitya is actually satya, and anitya is actually mithya. So that is the discrimination between what is satya and what is mithya. That has to be very clearly understood and very clearly deeply imbibed by the aspirant. Ihamutra phalabhoga viragaha. So this is vairagyam toward everything that is in this world and otherworldly. All this, all the bhoga that is that a person can acquire by working for in this world and get in this world, and all the bhogas that he can work for here but get in the other worlds, like Swarga and all that. So he has got vairagya towards all of them. Then Shamadhi Shatka Sampat, or that is Shama, that is control of the inner organ, that is the mind. Dama is the control of the external organs, that is the 5 sense organs and the 5 karmendriyas, that is motor organs. Then Uparati is the withdrawal from all unnecessary or inessential work. Uparati. Titiksha is the forbearing of all the ups and downs that will come due to prarabdha. Then Uparati Titiksha, then Shraddha. Shraddha is the very high degree of faith, very deep faith in the words of the Shastra and in the words of the Guru. And Samadhanam is the ability to remain focused on the on Brahman, which could be Saguna Brahman or Nirguna Brahman. So these things are constitute the Samadhi Shatka Sampatti. Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, not Samadhi, it is Shamadhi, Shama, Dama, etc. And then Mumukshutvam is the deep desire to or longing to get released. So these are the 4. evam bhuto adhikari Svatma nirupanaihi tattvam padarthaikya pratipadana yogyaihi vakyaihi Upanishad vachanaihi shishyaha adhikari guruna brahmanishtena prabodhyate upadishyate. So when such an adhikari comes to the a knower of the truth, that is the guru, an aproksha jnani, then the jnani has a duty. So he will impart that vidya, Brahma vidya or Atma vidya by employing so many means. And here the Acharya specifies Svatmanirupana Nirupanaihi Svatmanirupana Nipunaihi Tattvam Padartha Vakya Pratipadane Yogyaihi. So here the Svatmanirupanam is the knowledge of the true nature of oneself. Atma is Svatma. Then Nirupanam is the delineation of the nature of the Atma. And Nipunaihi Tattvam Padarthehi Vakyaihi. So he will be employing those Upanishadic statements like Tattvamasi, etc. There are so many of them like that. So these are all the passages contained in the Upanishads which have the power to expound the true nature of the Atman. And the very important part of this aspect of this is Tatpada and Tvampada, that is the Mahavakya. Tatpada is about the Brahman, and Tvampada is about the true nature of the Atman, and the Aikya is the identity between these two terms or between these two concepts of Brahman and Atman. So Vakyehi, Nirupana Pratipadana Yogyehi Vakyehi Upanishad Vachanehi. So these are all the because the content, the source of for the teaching by the Brahmanishta Guru is definitely the Upanishad, because without that source, he won't teach anything, because that is the only source available for anybody, and he would have himself resorted to that source and then attained the Aproksha Jnanam, and now he has become eligible to teach someone else also. So then also he will be employing the same Upanishadic sentences or passages only, because this is the one which will instill faith, greater faith in the adhikari. See, the adhikaris are also of many types. There are some adhikaris who do not seek anything other than the words of the Guru. For them, that is the supreme. That is a Vedavak for them. But then there might be some adhikaris who might think that the Acharya is saying something of his own, but then if he is saying something based on the Upanishads or the Veda or something like that, then it will be more, it will carry more weight. So there will be some adhikaris who think that way also. So in order to cater to all these things, the safest method will be to base the teaching on the Upanishad Pramana. Shishyaha Adhikari Guruna Brahmanishtena. So the Guru also is being qualified here by the commentary that he is a Brahmanishta, Shrotriyam Brahmanishta. So he is citing the famous Mundaka Upanishad passage also. Tadvijnanartham sa gurumeva abhigachet samitpanihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So there the passage will start with Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayat nastya krita kritena Tadvijnanartham sagurumeva abhigachet samitpanihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So that Pariksha lokan part is very, very important. That's what is stated by the first word of this sloka, samsara dava pavaka santaptaha. So Pariksha lokan. So he would have examined all the ways, the ways in which people live in this world, from Pratyaksha Pramana, Veda Pramana, Anumana, and all that. And then he would conclude that there is absolutely no way a person can attain the knowledge of the highest through anything connected with work, that is karma. So karma has no place at all in that realm. So he concludes that way, and then because whatever has been accomplished by karma is definitely finite, and it will have a time frame, and it will have a time, it will be limited by time and limited by place also. So that is not the way to attain what is infinite. So the finite means can never attain, never accomplish what is infinite. So this is the way he concludes, and then he with all this sadhana chaturthi sampatti, that vijnanartham. So that is that the that infinite eternal truth that is called tat here. Vijnanartham, with a view to attain the direct knowledge of that supreme truth. So gurumeva abhigachet. So he has to attain, he has to seek a guru alone, not any other source. No other source will be capable of catering to his need. So he has to approach a guru alone. Gurumeva abhigachet. So that guru pasadanam is a very important part of this exercise, which has been stressed in the Bhagavad Gita also. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninaha tatdarshinaha. So that shloka encapsulates all these mantras completely, because it says that tattvadarshi. So the acharya has to be a tattvadarshi. So tattvadarshi. So gurumeva abhigachet samitpanihi. He has to approach the acharya in the formal way. Shrotriyam brahmanishtam. So the guru is also being qualified by the mantra itself. He is a shrotriya, and who is an expert in the textual part of the teaching, that is the Upanishads. He is an expert in that. And then also he is a Brahmanishta. So he is also a person who with experience of the Brahman. So only such a person will be able to deliver the truth, the knowledge of the truth to a seeker. Then the next mantra there itself adds the other part of the what the guru has to do. Tasmai sa vidwan upasannaya samyak prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya yenaksharam veda satyam provachatam tattvato brahma vidyam. So that is the mantra which follows that. So in the Mundaka, so it says that when such a person, when such a candidate has approached in the proper manner, a proper accomplished candidate, when the aspirant has approached the guru in the proper manner, then the guru has a duty now. So he has to definitely exercise, or he has to definitely perform that duty. That's what Bhagavad Pada says in the Bhashya there. He says, even though a Brahmanishta has gone beyond injunctions and prohibitions and all that, here the Upanishad places upon him a duty. It enjoins upon the Brahmanishta guru to give out the teaching of the truth to the proper candidate. So that Bhagavad Pada adds there, that comment he makes that comment, very, very important comment he makes there. So here the Shruti says, Tasmai sa vidwan upasannaya samyak prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya. So in this prashanta chitta and shamanvita, the samadhi shatka sampati, everything is included for the shishya. So the shishya's lakshana is given here. The guru lakshana is also given here. So tasmai sa vidwan. The vidwan is the aproksha jnani here. It's not. So it is a he is a very, very accomplished aproksha jnani himself. So vidwan. So upasannaya samyak, for a candidate who has approached him in the proper manner, in the formal manner, samyak prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya provachata. So in the aksharam, that is the Brahman, which can be known only through this upadesha, that vidya, that Brahma vidya, let him impart to this candidate. So that is the Upanishad's command to the acharya also. It is shrutehe. So deshika upadesha labhya eva Brahma vidya na swayukti vyutpatya tarkadina. So here the commentator says that only through the Upadesha had from the Acharya, Deshika is Acharya, Brahma Vidya the teaching can be successful only when it comes from the teacher, but not by one's own analysis or one's own intellectual prowess and all that. So one should never embark upon this knowing of this Brahma Vidya all by himself. So the Kathopanishad also says that very clearly, and Bhagavad Pada also says in a very emphatic manner that even if a person is accomplished in all the shastras like Vyakarna, Mimamsa and Tarka and all that, and even Vedanta, he should never embark upon this this moksha sadhana all by himself in the absence of a guru. So that also is being very clearly mentioned in this shloka. Deshikopadesha labhya eva brahma vidya. So in the Chandogya Upanishads also it says that acharya vidita vidya sadishtam prapate. So acharya dhyaiva. So only when the vidya has been received from the acharya, it will accomplish its fruit of liberating knowledge. So the shloka is samsara dava pavaka santaptaha sakala sadhanopetaha Svatmanirupanam nipunaihi vakyehi shishyaha prabodhyate guruna. So then we move on to the next shloka, for which there is a small introduction. Idanim atmanaha traikalika satta pradarshanartham vidvat avidvat sadharana anubhavena atmano astitvam sadhayanne vishayam pradarshayati. So after having spoken about the candidate, that is the adhikari, now the vishaya, that is the subject matter of this teaching in this text, is being mentioned in this shloka. Idanim atmanaha traikalika satta pradarshanartham. So this shloka is going to show that the Atman is ever present, that it is never ever absent at any point of time, at any state. So it is ever present, it is nitya, traikalika satta pradarshanartham. Traikalika is past, present and future. It is forever ever present. So that has to be shown here. Vidvat avidvat sadharana anubhavena. So here he is taking resort not to any Vedavakya and all that, but simply the experience of knowing a person who has known the truth and the person who has not at all, who doesn't know the truth at all. So this kind of an anubhava is now being taken up for establishing that the Atman is of an eternal nature. Astitvam, that is the existence of the Atman, is being explained through this method here. Sadhana sadhayanne vishayam pradarshayati. Vishaya is the subject matter. So here this shloka reads this way: Asti swayam it yasmin arte kasyasti samshayaha pumsaha atrapi samshayaschet samshayita yaha sayeva bhavasi tvam. So here in this shloka, it is getting very, very personal here. The teaching is getting very personal. Asti swayam iti asmin arte kasyasti samshayaha pumsaha. So asti, that is this atma is existent and it is one's own self also. So in this matter, who alone has any doubt at all in this? So everybody, without being even taught about the Vedanta and all that, has a very clear experience that he exists. And he himself is the one who is existing also. So in that manner, there is no, without any need to be taught, a person has got this experience by himself. So samshaya, he doesn't have any doubt about this at all. He doesn't doubt whether I am existing or not. So that doubt never ever comes to any person. Pumsaha atrapi samshayaschete samshayitayaha sayeva bhavasi tvam. So, but if in case someone has a doubt in this basic experience of everybody, if anybody has a doubt, then the Acharya here very cleverly says that such a person who has got a doubt, he is the one who is the Atman here. So he is the one who is the self here. So a normal person will not have any doubt about this at all, about his own existence. But if someone doubts that existence, that doubter is the one who has to be known here as the self. So there is a very famous statement attributed to Swami Ramana Maharshi. It seems he used to say, you doubt the doubter. So the doubter is, if someone has a doubt, you ask yourself, who is the one who is doubting? So that kind of an interrogation or an inquiry will lead to the basic Chaitanyam, which is he himself is. So here the shloka is pointing to that only. asti swayam iti asminnarte kasyasti samshayah pumsaha atrapi samshayaschet samshayitayah sayeva bhavasi tvam. So the doubter itself can be known to be yourself. So this is the meaning of this shloka. So in the commentary, the Acharya explains it. Asti swayam iti asminnarte atma swayam asti कालत्रयाभ्यः तिष्ठति इति अनुभवे कस्यापि पुंसः विद्वतो वा अविद्वतो वा पुरुषस्य संशयः सन्देहो अस्ति किं कस्यापि नास्ति इत्यर्थः. So everybody knows that even without being taught that he exists always. He may not go to the earlier lives, or he may not have the capacity to think of the lives to come in future, but then even in this life, at least he will very clearly know that I am always present. I was present in the past, I am present now, and I will be present in the future. Even when this one life is taken as a limit, when it is limited, when this inquiry is limited to this just one life, also a person has no doubt about his existence at all, because he will very clearly know that the one who is doing this work or experiencing these things now existed before, and the one who am doing all these things will be there in the future also to reap the benefits of this. So this kind of a feeling everybody has, and with that feeling alone, a person engages in the present activity also, because for anybody to be a bhokta, for anybody to be a karta now, he knows that he will be a bhokta later. So when a person engages in cooking at 8 o'clock, he will know that he will be eating at 12 o'clock. So this kind of experience everybody has in his day-to-day life also. So asti swayam iti asmin arte atma swayam asti kalatrayabhyah tishtati. So it is beyond all these three points of time. So this kind of an experience iti anubhave kasyapi pumsaha vidvataha va avidvato va. Whether he is knowledgeable or ignorant, there is no doubt about this particular kind of basic experience. Purushasya samshayaha sandeho asti kim. So the question is, it is not in the prashnartha, but it is in akshepartha, that is, kasyapi nasti tirtaha. No one ever will have any doubt about this basic experience. Swayam atma, swasya atma tishtati iti sarvaihi manushyehi anubhuyate. So that one's own self is existing, is experienced by every human. So of course, he is mentioning this manushya because this text is addressed to manushas only. But this kind of a feeling will be there even for animals also, even for non-human jivas also. So then he quotes Taittiriya Upanishad passage, asanneva sabhavati asad brahmeti veda chet asti brahmeti chet veda santamenam tato viduriti. That is Shruti. So there the Shruti, the passage, the meaning of the Shruti passage is asanneva sabhavati asad brahmeti veda chet. If anyone were to conclude that Brahman is non-existent, of course, here that Brahman is now in this context taken to be self, the Atman. Of course, there in the Upanishad also that is implied there. So if anyone were to say that Brahman doesn't exist, that person who says that or who thinks that or who concludes that Brahman doesn't exist, he himself becomes non-existent. He himself becomes worthless, or so actually there the word asat is actually in the sense of worthless only, because a person, even now in the present day also, we see so many people who are non-believers and all that, who go about happily in the world. So they have not become non-existent. The purport of the Shruti passage is that a person who concludes that Brahman does not exist, he himself becomes non-existent in the sense that he becomes ineligible to perform any purushartha, work for any purushartha, whether it is the dharma, artha, kama, or moksha. For any of the four purusharthas, he will become ineligible to work for those purusharthas, because from the Shastra point of view, all the four purusharthas are granted by the Ishvara only. So without Ishvara, these purusharthas cannot have any meaning at all. So a person cannot work for any of these purusharthas unless he has a faith that there is an Ishvara who will grant me this, or there is an Ishvara whom I want to approach, or there is a Brahman which I want to become. So these things are all there. So asanneva sabhavati asad brahmeti veda chet. If someone were to conclude that Brahman doesn't exist, he himself becomes non-existent. Then asti brahmeti ched veda santamenam tato viduriti. So if someone were to conclude that I am that Brahman or that Brahman exists, then santam enam tato viduhu. So the knowers of Brahman will acknowledge or will accept this person as a santa, as a person who is a knower. So the certificate has to come from the knowers. So here the Shruti says that asti brahmeti ched veda, if someone were to know that Brahman exists, whether by his own experience or at least by faith or Shruti Pramana, he accepts that, then he will be regarded by others as someone who is worthy of being looked upon as someone who can take up the study of some shastram or some sadhana, who can perform some sadhana. So this is the meaning of the Shruti. So he quotes the Shruti to say that no one will ever think that he himself is non-existent. So that is, for that only he is quoting the Shruti here. Atrapi atmanaha astitve api samshayashchet yaha samshayita sandehakarta sayeva tvam atma bhavasi astitva nastitvayoho anubhavita atma eva ityartha. So if someone were to have a doubt whether he is existing or not, then that doubter itself is the Atma here. So sayeva tvam Atma bhavasi. So he is addressing in the first person that the one who is a doubter himself is you. So astitva nastitva yoho anubhavita Atma eva ityartha. So he is making a very nice, very clever, intelligent statement here. Astitva nastitva yoho anubhavita. The person who experiences the astitva of Atma and the person who is denying the or doubting the existence of the Atma, these two, both these are actually Atma themselves, without knowing that the second one is doubting this, whereas the first one who knows that very clearly. So this is the meaning of this shloka. Astit swayam asmin arthe kasyasti samshayaha pumsaha atrapi samshayaschet samshayita yaha sa eva bhavasi tvam. So we will read the first shloka and then conclude. Shri Guru Charana Dvandvam Vandeham Matita Dussahadvandvam Bhranti Grahopashantim Pamsumayam Yasya Bhasita Matarante Shastram Sharira Mimamsa Devastu Parameshwaraha Acharya Shankaracharya Santume Janma Janmani Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvagnam Vidushe Karabharatim Om Tatsate.